I think what Chip's done, and let's just jump right into the Pac-12. We'll get around to the other conferences.
Sure.
But I think Chip has really built it his way. And Coach, I want to get your point on it because when he got there, Jim Moore had a bunch of success and they had a bunch of players, but didn't fit into what Chip wanted to do, right? They had a bunch of huge recruits. They had a bunch of names there. And instead of trying to do what you can do today, which is what they've done in LA across town with Lincoln Riley, because the portal exists now. It didn't when Chip took over in terms of the immediacy of playing. He slowly built it. And when I look at the portal guys that they've taken, they've missed on one guy. And it was Evidence Njoku, whose brother was on the roster at UCLA at the time.
Right.
Every other guy, whether it was going to Bama, going to Duke, going to Harvard, going to Notre Dame, like all the eval and the schools that the guys that they brought in, they've all hit. Zach Charbonnet, like he's a real guy. Like we got to talk about as one of the best running backs in America. You referenced Jake Bobo, but other guys, whether it's Azizi Hearn in the secondary, Darius Muasau at inside linebacker, have done a nice job there. And then the 3-star guys that they brought in recruiting, they would get dinged all the time. Oh, they don't have the 5-star, don't have the 5-star. But they got like a 5-star fit. And I just think that now with this defense and what Coach referenced about Dorian, like, then you add in Chip Kelly's play calling acumen, like they're a legit threat. Not like, oh, it's a good story like Minnesota a couple years ago.
Right.
You with me?
Well, here's the thing for me. I think Chip Kelly is, I do think he's brilliant. I do. I also think that what they're kind of combining there's like a trio of things that they're working on, right? There's the using the portal to get guys. Obviously, Bobo's the headliner, but they've got other guys. And then the recruiting, we know that, listen, this has been a thing when he was at Oregon. It's why he went to the NFL. He doesn't love, nobody loves, and Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody loves like showing around a 17-year-old all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fun for an adult human man to like cater to a 17-year-old. Except for, unless you're Nick Saban, basically. Like, that's what Nick Saban is like, he lives for it, and he makes sure his staff lives for it. But Chip, I understand he doesn't love that. So he finds guys that are good fits. And then that's the part I was going to get to, is the third part. The third part of that is they're working the portal well. They are recruiting at a level that makes him comfortable. But they're getting guys that want to be there, that want to play, that want to work. And they're doing this thing that we've seen places like, what is it, Wisconsin or Penn State or Iowa or Pitt, or we've seen them do those things where they get these guys and then those guys get kind of indoctrinated into the system and everybody's on the same page. And that's the part that I really like about what Chip Kelly's been able to grow. Coach Sumlin, tell him, like, course correct me here, because that's what I'm saying.
Nobody's going to correct you, Mike. I mean, I think there's three things, right? Number one, he's had time.
Yes.
Right? There was a time 3.5, 4 years ago, everybody's like, what is he doing here? Right?
Yes.
We're struggling. We can't do this, can't do that. And to Yogi's point, I think administratively, what they've done there, you know, the new facility, it's a different place than it was when Chip got there. I'm just being honest. I mean, it's just a completely different place. He's had his effect, but they've been patient with him. Number one, and to your point and to Yogi's point, we want to talk about the guys that came in the portal. Chip let a bunch of guys go too. They were in the portal playing at all kinds of other places. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that were at UCLA that left and are playing at other places that he said, that's fine, right? If that's what you want. So he's built this team the way he wants to, not wholesale like USC, but he has made calculated moves and stuck with a quarterback that he believed in from the day he got there. And he's now, that's paying off.
Amen. All right, two quick things on the Bruins. Then I want to break down the game, see where you guys net out. One is that when it comes to transfers, I think the graduate school program they have is as cool as any I've heard. It's called Transformational Coaching and Leadership. Where, like, you want to come and learn how to be a coach, like they have the who's who of coaches come into that class. I think it's a really cool thing. And they have 16 players getting a master's degree in that. So I think as we talk about the professionalization of college football, it's important to note that there is still the student side of college football. And Chip's guys are doing a good job. He often says books and ball. It's kind of the big theme over there. And then the DTR, right? Like as a Heisman voter, right? Here's my moment here. The award is defined as the player who exhibits excellence with integrity, right? So Dorian's got his degree. He's been stand-up since he's gotten there. But my number one number that I love around DTR is 304. And that's the amount of pass attempts he had in high school. Played as a senior.
Yeah.
Most quarterbacks have over 1,000 when they enter whatever college they choose to go to. Since his sophomore year ended, because he was up and down as a freshman, first started at Oklahoma, we know that. Second year, they were up and down. First half of the Colorado game of the 2020 season was funky. Since then, he's thrown 68 touchdowns, 12 picks. And this year is completing 75% of his passes, and he's not playing catch. He's playing quarterback. He's playing quarterback. And I just think it's noteworthy because I think, and I talked to some of the guys that are going to be up there for game day this week, and I said, please don't say that Dorian's an up and down quarterback. That was year 1 and year 2 and the first half of year 3. But the last 2.5 plus years, he's been as steady and just tracking upwards as anybody in the country at that position. I think it's critical that we just state it because I think he's an easy guy to just reputation up and down dude.
I think that I'm putting him in the same camp as Max Duggan with Spencer Sanders, guys that we've talked about for a long time and have waited for them to get to where we wanted them to be. And Yogi, you and I, we were there. We were together in Redondo. We were together in Redondo watching this kid play, watching DTR as he followed up Tate Martell, right? Yeah. We were in Redondo watching that. We were watching, the stopwatch and watching the pro day and doing the whole deal. We did that. And he had all the tools. He showed us all the tools. We needed him to get all those tools put together. And now he's playing for a coach, not playing for a coach. He's playing with a coach who understands, who they have an understanding. They know where they want to be. You throw in Zach Charbonnet, you throw in the idea, you throw in Bobo, you throw in this. These guys are on the same page. And when I watch DTR, when I watch him go full field read, boom, slant's not there. Skinny's not there. The backside dig's not there. I don't have my hitch. I'm going to the sideline over here with my running back on the flare after he already blocked and then flared out. When he's able to go through 4, 5, boom. This is a guy that's playing football. Like, that's football. That's what you're supposed to be doing.